Research is being updated all the time, and so are care guides. These are the top 5 most outdated care beliefs that people need to stop believing. My name is Jennifer and you're watching Fishy Pet Keeping. Stay tuned! Number 5 is keeping goldfish in bowls. Now, I'm sure most of you know that this is an outdated practice because it's pretty cruel, inhumane, and goldfish, they grow big, especially common goldfish. Fancy goldfish also grow quite big, but not as big, but they still shouldn't be in bowls. Now, fancy goldfish, they can grow up to be about 30 centimeters or about 12 inches, and that's big for a bowl. I don't think you should keep any fish in any bowl, or if it's a really big bowl, then yes, sure. But not goldfish. Generally, fancy goldfish live up to 15 years, but they can live longer provided with the right care and conditions. In bowls, they are likely not gonna live that long because they are poop factories. And they produce a lot of waste, so you'll need to do a lot of water changes, especially if they're in the bowl. And in my opinion, goldfish really do need filters. Just, you know, they're big poopers, big waste producers. They need a filter. Provide them with a filter. Another reason I don't want you to keep goldfish in bowls is because they need a big tank. A lot of people say a minimum of 29 gallons, and that may be true, but personally I wouldn't put them in less than a 40 gallon. Just like to give them a lot of space, because they do like to live in groups too. So, number 4. There are such things as a kid-friendly fish. Now, don't get me wrong, there are kid-friendly fish out there, but what I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't expect your kid to take care of your fish whatever happens, because they're still animals. They need to be taken care of. It's your responsibility as a parent to take care of that living being. A common kid-friendly fish is the goldfish. Speaking of goldfish, by the way, why I don't think this is a good kid-friendly fish is because, well, they get big, they require a big tank, they also are big waste producers, so you'll need to do a lot of water changes. In my opinion, goldfish are more on the intermediate side or intermediate level of fish keeping, but that's just my opinion. They need a filter. Yeah, you can't just put them in a bowl, just standing there on the nightstand. No, don't do that. Now, I do agree that some fish are easier to keep than others, such as, for example, neon tetras, zebrafish, bristlenose plecos, etc. And this makes them kid-friendly. But remember, you're a parent, it's your responsibility to take care of that fish. Don't expect your kid to take care of them, because most probably you will get some dead fish pretty soon, unless your kid is very good with animals. If you're a fish lover and you teach your kid the right ways, then you're probably not going to end up with a lot of dead fish. But don't get a goldfish for your kid, please. Just get some schooling fish such as the ones I named before. They're a lot easier to keep, I promise. And the number 3 outdated care beliefs is that fish only live for a few months. They don't. Some fish can live for decades. Even one of the most short-lived, like the killifish, lives for about 2 years. A lot of people think that bettas only live for a few months, but they can live for up to 5 years provided with the right care, but it's more common that they live for about 3 years. But they can live longer provided with the right care and also the right genetics and such. Now, a lot of fish die because of diseases or inappropriate water parameters or conditions such as ammonia or nitrite, an ammonia spike or nitrite spike, or too much nitrate, for example. That can also shorten the fish's life. Those who don't know a lot about fish just buy new ones when the first ones have died, and they don't know that there is something going on with the parameters in the tank, or maybe there's a disease spreading in the tank, for example. Some people just don't know, and then there are people who just neglect their tanks, and they know there's something going on, but they just choose not to do anything. but most people don't really know that there is something going on. My window is not my friend today. But no, fish don't only live for a few months, and some of them can even spend the majority of your life with you. And that's pretty amazing to me. Number 2 is you need a heater under any circumstance. And this really depends on your situation, on your aquarium, on the type of fish that you keep. Maybe you have cold water fish such as goldfish or white-cloud minnows, for example. Or maybe even endless guppy or shrimp, or you get it. But if you got cold water fish such as these fish that I just mentioned, you don't need a heater. In fact, they can become sick if their water is too warm, decreasing their life expectancy. And you know, the reason why I'm looking this way sometimes is because I'm looking at my notes. Then if you're one of those people that have a fish room, then if you got tropical fish, then it may just be more efficient and energy saving to just heat up the room that they're in. They don't need a heater, they just need a room that is heated up. You can just imagine how expensive it would be to have one separate heater in every single tank if you got like 10-20 tanks in one single room. I would choose to heat up that room because it would be more energy efficient and you would save money in the end. Number 1 is Bettas in decorative vases or vases. Vases, how do you pronounce it? Potato. Bettas really do need a minimum of 5 gallons. They don't live in small mud puddles such as many people believe. They live in rice paddies in Asia, and rice fields are really big. And they live there. And by the way, they do need a heater, and a heater is gonna take up most of the space in a vase, whatever. And many bettas who are put in decorative vases only live for a few days or a few weeks at most. If they are real fighters, they may make it a few months, but most often they don't make it more than that. And bettas can live for up to 5 years. Most only live for about 3 years, 3 maybe 4 years, but they can live for up to 5 years. Don't put them in vases. I also think that the reason why many people put them in vases is the belief of them living in mud puddles, and also they have a labyrinth organ, so they can survive without a filter or any like circulation in the tank. And the labyrinth organ is an organ where they can swim up to the surface and breathe air. That's pretty cool, but it's kind of a curse too if you're a betta. Because people put them in these containers, they think that they don't need a filter or any circulation whatsoever. Now this may be true that they don't need a filter if they live in a minimum of 5 gallon. It's heavily planted because the plants will suck up the nitrates and all the poop and such. And in this way the plants will act as that filter. They will filter out nitrates, nitrites, ammonia. They will use those nitrates and ammonias as their food. It will act as their fertilizer. Don't put bettas in vases, vodka bottles, shot glasses, small drinking glasses. They are animals, living beings, and you should take care of them in the right way. So those were the top 5 most outdated care beliefs in the fish keeping hobby. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then please give it a like. And if you would like to see more of this, then consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. And if you would like to support me even more, I do have a Patreon page that I will post in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!